Hello, hello. Captain Troy Handsome of International Rescue here. Please state the nature of emergency here with Strahd's Cursed Eviction Notice, Session 22 with Bralef and the Coffee Lich. How are you both doing today?
Doing good.
I'm good.
Good to hear, good to hear. All right, let me run everyone by, at least as far as what I can remember from last time. Feel free to fill in any gaps when I'm done here, but you basically made your way from Kresk south to the Wizard of Wines Winery. Along the way, you met some people claiming to be from the winery. I phrase it like that for reasons we'll get into. And they stated the winery was essentially kind of like under siege, had been taken over, and they requested your help, as did the people of Kresk in a way, since they don't really have a lot of food for the impending winter, and they know that the Wizard of Wines Winery could potentially be helpful. So you made it safely to the winery, avoiding the various blights and other creatures that have besieged the place. You made your way inside, and as I reveal what's behind the veil here, you had just made your way to, well, you had explored pretty much the entirety of the first floor. You're now on the second floor, where you come upon an interesting sight. So before I repeat that, of what you see, is there anything you'd like to add that I may have overlooked?
Can't think of anything. It seems pretty
Sounds
good.
right to me.
Thank you.
Seems pretty good. Right?
Okay. In that case, I'm going to swap the music real quick while I read a description of what you see. There is something that I need to add to the description from last time, so let me just swap this right here. And let me get to my right tab. Okay. Actually, sorry, you are at room W16. So this room has a wooden floor with a 10-foot square hole cut into the middle of it. Looming over the hole is a wooden winch. Perched atop it is an individual with wild hair, skin apparently painted red with blood, waving a gnarled staff made from what appears to be a black branch, specifically a spongy black length of wood from which ashen smoke wisps at a constant rate. You can see that it has, from your point of view, a strangely spongy texture. And there's that's basically what I read off last time, but there's something additional that I'm gonna say here. You'll see that there's actually, next to this individual, a spiky plant-looking creature, and you'll see that emerging from the staff is another thorny-looking creature, like basically off of the end of the staff. Perhaps some incantations are being said, and it's just basically growing out of the staff. And it's at this point that I'd like to ask you all to roll for initiative.
Off to a not great start.
All right, thank you both for your initiative. Let me go ahead and get one for this one right over here. Oh, that's a rather high roll. I'll just be adding 2 more people, and then we'll get under way. Oh, I see. Not the best of rolls, but that's okay. All right. And I guess I will then take us away. All right. So while the thorny creature is emerging from the staff, you'll hear that the forest folk up top the winch is also barking out orders. And the thorny creature on the left, who I'm just going to call a needle blight because I'm just going to forget one of these days, is going to spring into action. You better watch out because this creature has such a high CR. Yes.
Remind me, is he speaking a language we can understand?
Let me double check.
I think we tried communicating with the one downstairs.
Yes. I think I remember that this particular creature does not speak a language, but I mean, sorry, a language that you know, but let me check real quick. See how it goes. Languages. Oh. Okay. Uh-huh. That is not what I expected. Sure. To make things easier for me, could I ask you to roll a perception roll for Keith? Oh my gosh, that's really good. Okay. You can understand this individual. Well, like the things that, you know, the orders being barked might be in a different language, but then perhaps you'll hear, I'll just say you'll hear him say something like under his breath, like, oh, like, haters. Like you'll hear something in common, even though the commands barked to the needle blight were not in common. And because of your good roll, I'll tell you that he seems to be speaking Druidic.
Ah! Makes sense to me.
All right. Give me a sec before I have it move forward. Okay. The creature is normally will try to attack you at range, but is actually going to try to essentially block your yeah. Grumble, tourists. Damn tourists in my home. The blight is gonna march forward and go 5, 10, 15, holding a strategic position right over here, and is going to levy a barrage of needles directly at Keith. Let's see if it hits. Let me just go ahead and change the advantage toggle to normal, and we'll see. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of dice. Oh yeah. All right, a 5. So its needles merely tickle you. In fact, it feels like a nice, like, tingly massage. Perhaps you should ask for a card for future massages. With that attack out of the way, Keith, the floor is yours. Have fun.
Keith will send out his shadow to deal with this guy.
Get him, Keith. This guy isn't even a licensed misogynist.
Oh.
Dealing 11 force damage.
Can you describe how you obliterate this creature that has literally exactly 11 health?
His shadow snakes along the ground underneath the twig blight and then just bursts from the ground and shatters it into splinters.
Okay. So both the druid looks on in what I will call 60% concern, 40% shock. The twig blight that has just been birthed into the world looks on with extreme shock and terror, as like almost anime-esque in appearance, and is like, please, I don't want to be here anymore.
I go 5, 10, 15, 20, and we'll call out, "You have until my friend marches over there and cuts you in half to explain the situation."
Ah. Okay. Can I ask you to roll a persuasion check? Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. I guess I guess we'll have to see how it goes, since perhaps the turn has not arrived yet. Obviously there's probably going to be an amount of movement that would indicate one way or the other. But I'll get to that once we get closer to Julian's turn. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. Next up is the Twig Blight, which really doesn't want to be here right now, as I alluded to previously. It will actually jump down through this hole in an attempt to escape.
Smart.
Mood. Grumble, grumble, in tones, grumble, grumble, grumble.
You will hear a slew of expletives in Druidic. You can't speak Druidic, but you know they're expletives.
The vibes are clear.
All right, Julian, you are up.
My friend Keith, you have failed to take into consideration the Taunt Order. This guy doesn't get to talk before I cut him in half.
Wow. There's a slight chance you could miss.
15, 20.
Let me double check this AC so I can laugh.
40. Okay. Thank you for addressing my question before I asked.
You know what's funny? That was an accident. I actually clicked on it to check the AC, and then it slotted it into an actually appropriate spot. So, yay, it works out for the both of us.
Nice. I keep clicking on my token just to move it, and I keep accidentally double-clicking and opening my token settings. So it's pain. Okay. I'm not in rage mode right now, so Spite. Chop. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 will hit, yes.
14 slashing damage.
All right. 14 is not enough to drop him, but you can tell that he is gravely wounded. Where did you slash this person, by the way? Like, specifically on the body? If you have a specific area.
Let's just go with, like, downwards along the torso at an angle.
Ooh, at an angle. Okay, yeah. So you get him good, and you'll see that where you would have expected red blood to be, you see kind of like a black. I think we talked about this earlier, right? Like ichor. I personally say ichor. All right. So to recap, what has just happened? You slashed down, and where you expected blood to be, you'll see that. Instead of it being red and perhaps not as viscous, you see a black viscous fluid between the skin where you slashed. It's kind of concerning, but maybe he just wasn't eating healthily enough. There's too many frozen TV dinners or something. I'm sure it's fine. You can have the floor again. What would you like to do now that you've seen this? You want to tell him about his poor life choices, or hit him again? What would you like to do?
I have a question.
Yes, please do.
Does it look tasty?
Oh, for your purposes, Julian. Shoot. Okay. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It doesn't look especially tasty, but for the purposes of fury points, it does. This is blood. It just might be a little bit unhealthier than traditional blood.
Gotcha.
Wait.
1 second.
Yeah, of course. And just as an added note, it does seem to be very similar to what's kind of like coating the black staff that this person is holding.
Gotcha. That's interesting. Need to double check something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So does this guy count as like a humanoid? I assume.
Correct.
Okay. Julian mumbles to himself something along the lines of, I'm probably going to regret this, but I'm just so curious, and I'm going to use my second attack to bite this guy.
I see. 26 will connect.
Awesome. Let's see, what was that? Alright. That is 9 piercing damage. And I would like to use my empowerment with this. Also, when I... it says, when I attack with this bite and hit a creature that isn't a construct or undead, I can empower myself in one of the following ways of my choice. I can regain hit points equal to the piercing damage dealt, gain a bonus to the next ability check or attack roll I make. I'm gonna just I'm going to take the empowerment that lets me regain health.
Okay. Well, help yourself to let me see what the roll was here. The maximum health that you can empower yourself with right now. Nice.
Yeah. And I don't really expect the fight to... Oh wait, that also would give me another fury point. I don't really expect the fight to go on for much longer, but just in case, I'm going to use my bonus action to enter the offensive stance for my combat training, just for the future.
Okay, an additional amount of damage with melee weapon equal to the number of fury points. Currently being possessed. Very nice. All right.
This does not apply to the past attacks, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
There. I beat the fuck out of the guy to help fully incentivize him to talk, and I didn't even cut him in half, rendering him incapable of talking.
Nice.
Also,
You know what that is? Growth?
I don't know, maybe. Also, were there any adverse effects of drinking this dude's black viscous blood? Or was it just nasty?
Can you give me a DC 14 Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
Okay. Very nice. So, wowee was that rank, but you escape unscathed. It was
Yay.
definitely nasty.
That was disgusting. Why did I do that?
It was worth a shot. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope.
All
It's gonna be
right.
it.
Next up is the druid, who, benevolent and merciful as you may have been, is going to try to escape. It is going to take the disengage action and hop down onto this wagon below. And because I think it would be funny, can I ask someone to roll me 1d6 for the fall damage? Oh. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate, but limping away with one single point of hit, I'm gonna go
You
10,
forgot about the caltrops I threw down there. I didn't.
15. I'll just say like he's so badly harmed that he can only move half of his speed, and so ends up there. Keith, you're up.
Should we like go finish him off or?
What did he ever do to y'all? You know?
It's a little unclear, actually. If he's the one who caused all the blights, then, you know, he tried to kill us.
Hey, druids don't kill people. Blights kill people.
Hmm. Does Julian answer Keith's question?
Sorry, I didn't hear your question.
I said, should we finish him off, or...
Oh. Not sure.
I don't know where he's gonna go.
He technically attacked us, but
I'm kind of curious to see where he tries to run.
Oh.
Ooh, I enjoy that idea. Yeah.
People jump down.
Okay. Let me go ahead and move you to... But before you jump down, I will just warn you that this like garage, if you will, was inundated with twig blights.
Right. Okay. If I look down,
if you
before
look
I
down,
jump.
yeah, you'll probably look down before you jump, and you can see that they're still kind of swarming down there. Obviously, they're simple twig blights, right? Like, what's the worst that swarm of rats can do, right? Or a bunch of rats.
You know what I can do though?
What's up?
Oh, as my bonus action, I will command Carrion to fly down, and just like I don't know, land on his shoulder or something.
Like, to be like felt, or like not to be felt, kind of like.
I mean, if he can land on him in such a way that he doesn't notice, all the better. But
Yeah. I'll probably let that happen. He is in a hurry.
Does he need to land on him? I mean, he can fly.
Yeah, can you just
yeah,
follow
yeah,
him
true.
and fly?
yeah, I can presumably fly faster than he can run too. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he'll follow.
So, because Carrion can execute this guy at any moment,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna take you all out of initiative. Just be like, all you have to do is say, "Lightning, kill this guy," and then I'll have Carrion execute the man. But for now,
Your motherfucking life ends 30 minutes from now.
if I'm the victory theme here, yeah, I'll probably take you all out of initiative unless someone has any outcry.
No, I like the idea of just having this guy run away with a bomb collar attached. With a theoretically like planar level range, like free action kill switch.
Bomb color cracks me up. All right, let me just resume the music that I have here in my notes, and we'll get going. Right here. Okay, so again, your quarry thinks that he's escaped beyond the sea of blights, theoretically or presumably, or possibly under his control. Carrion will see that he is limping away from the combat, the action, and is actually appearing to be in the process of leaving the grounds of the winery entirely. As he kind of makes his way to the edge of the grounds, you'll actually hear well, for Carrion it'll be much closer, but those of you up on the second floor will hear a faint cry in Druidic, like distant and muffled, like and you hear a commotion on. The blights seem to be slowly dispersing from at least this lower area of the garage.
I will relay this information to Julian.
Sorry, lightning cut out for me a little bit. What was the information?
The twig blights are leaving.
Gotcha. Oh, they're following after the druid, I take it then?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, you are free to move about the winery. Just in case there's... All right, let me reveal a little bit. So you are next to a door, of course. There's another door right over here. And as you can tell from your mental map, the door directly beyond this Needle Blight, who has now passed away, is basically the second floor of the fermentation vats from the first floor, where you saw a similarly garbed forest folk. I think atop one of these vats. But yeah, the vats are through there. And of course, there's another door that has not been explored yet.
I was about to ask if that was the same one that we saw.
Ah, yes. It seems to be a different one. The other one... Yeah. They seem to be separate, different forest folk. Good question. Especially considering I used the same token for them. Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that you did, actually.
Yes, I think I did. I could be wrong. No one check last VOD. But you could just go down and fetch your benefactors from the forest. Clearly, with 1.5 of the, or actually, with 2.5 floors cleared and the blights having left, you can sound the all clear right now.
Potentially, yeah. I don't know. I think it'd be a good idea to keep looking around.
Yeah, we can finish exploring. And Karen will just keep an eye on the druid to see if we learn anything else.
Okay. Yes, the druid, for Carrion's sake, is making his way south. And Carrion can see that there does appear to be some sort of tall hill off in the distance that emerges beyond and above the trees. That may be the destination for this person. Unless you kill him right now, in which case that's definitely not his destination.
I'll let him go for now. Still a possibility that we're the baddies here, but...
All right, baddies, what would you like to do? Do you want the door you don't know where it leads to? Or do you want to go to the door on the other side of the vats that also leads somewhere you don't know where to?
Let's just start with this door right here for now.
All right. You see, when you open this door, a hallway with a single door at the end.
I shall open this door.
All right, W18. This room contains a rectangular table surrounded by 8 chairs, an L-shaped cupboard, and a floor-to-ceiling closet pantry. Next to the pantry is a small iron stove. Because, based on this description they've instructed me to read to you, that is a floor-to-ceiling closet pantry, I'll just reveal that for you too. You'll see a door to your right, and once you step into the room, if you choose to do so, you'll see that there's a door on your left as well.
want me to just keep continuing down this road?
Mm-hmm.
Open the door on the right.
All right. Now this room is interesting. This room contains a 4-poster bed. Its headboard carved in the likeness of a giant raven. A soft black rug covers the floor between the bed and the door. In the corners of the south wall stand 2 slender wardrobes with a tapestry of a church hanging on the wall between them. Beneath the tapestry sits a handsomely carved rocking cradle. To the north, under a window, is a plain desk and chair. Other furnishings include a wooden chest and a freestanding mirror in a wooden frame.
Before we go in there, I'll check the pantry and see if there's anything interesting in there.
The pantry in W18. You will find cooking ingredients, and it's telling me the winery's stores. I'm going to take that and assume that just a normal pantry. You could definitely steal food if you want under the guise of the forest. Folk haven't taken it. But, I mean, I would never do such a thing, of course.
Also, neither of us eat.
Also, what? Sorry.
Neither of us eat.
True. All right. I assume you're interested in that door, but is there anything else you all would like to check out in the bedroom to the right?
We can open that chest.
Okay, the chest is locked.
Not for long, it's not. Can I attempt to pick the lock?
Yes. What is the default, if either of you happen to remember right now, because it doesn't give me a DC for this because of, as you can imagine, there's an intended way to open the chest, but like in case...
Default lock is DC 15.
All right, thank you. Well, why don't you give me a DC? Let me think of a random number. 15.
Curses.
Curses.
You could have
Strahd
said
indeed.
anything. You could have said anything.
Did I say 15?
I appreciate your honesty, Bralef.
I meant 14.
You're a fool. You're a fool.
This chest seems difficult to open. But I'm sure something good might happen or something. Yeah. Or maybe there wasn't anything good in the chest anyway.
Hey, Julian, can you open this chest?
I cut the chest in half. I reduced the chest to atoms.
Well,
Can I attempt to
yes, you may.
break the lock?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I can't pick locks, so.
What a chest is locked. So I think I will allow you to do that, even though I do imagine it to be an internal. Oh, just imagine you're like breaking the hinges or something. But yeah, I'll make the DC the same.
Strength check, athletics, what do you want?
I know that athletics is like better, but I am feeling a straight strength check for this. Oh my god. Okay. Well, in that case, here's what I'm gonna do.
Dig my fingers directly into the top of it and just rip it clean off. Does that lock? The lock is still like intact on the thing.
Yes, it is. Okay. So you open it like some sort of bread bowl, some sort of pot pie where you like basically break the top so you can get to the good, delicious stuff inside. Okay. So because of the fact that you went through the lid, out of curiosity, what are both of your passive perceptions again?
I do not like hearing that after we open.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It'll be fine.
14.
12.
Oh, okay. So let me explain what would have happened if Bralef had opened it, had been successful when Keith opened it. You know, you open the chest, you'll find the treasures within. and you would have gone about your merry way. But because Julian opened it this way from the top, you actually see that there was a secret compartment in the lid that would have been found with a successful DC 15 wisdom perception check. But because you just opened it from the top, not only do you find the treasure inside, you also find the secret compartment. So, nice work.
Hell yeah.
All right. Do you want the treasure first or the secret compartment stuff first?
The treasure.
Yeah.
All right. Inside the chest are 50 gold, 270 whatever the fuck EP is.
That's electrum pieces.
No, it's not.
You can't just make up words, Bralef.
Exactly.
Does
And
it actually say
always on-
electrum?
yeah, it's electrum pieces.
Go fuck yourself. Why would they do that?
They do specify that each electrum coin is stamped with a profiled visage of Strahd von Zarovich, which I think is a reference to the fact that the coins are supposed to be like stamped with that across the board. So I find it interesting that they specify that these aren't just any like electrum pieces from anywhere. They're also electrum pieces that have theoretically been in circulation here in the valley. But I digress. Let me get you this listing of treasure.
You know, you don't hear about it a ton, but electrum pieces pop up a good amount in my campaigns.
Ooh.
I just don't let you know because I just convert it into gold because it's a useless currency that no DM uses.
Well, I definitely don't, so I won't disagree with you there.
It's hilarious. It's like, it's entirely usable. We just price things in electrum occasionally. And like, keep in mind what the conversion rate from silver to electrum is, but it's just easier on everyone mentally to just go with gold, silver, copper, and then like maybe platinum. If you want to imply that your characters are like really fucking rolling in it.
Yeah, let me just get my
Single
players
platinum piece. Go buy someone's entire family off them.
It's just 10 gold.
Yeah, but like for a lot of people, that's the equivalent of like 10 grand.
Yeah, the economy doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you look at it with too much scrutiny.
Yeah.
Speaking of looking at things with scrutiny, as for the second thing that you have won, you find a gold locket in this secret compartment. And because your pull, your rip apart of the top of the chest was so powerful that like when you rip it up, when you see the gold locket, it like slightly opens a little, revealing that there's a painted portrait of a beautiful woman inside. And there's also a pouch containing 5 gemstones. And for some strange reason, Julian, you see like the costs of everything, like monetarily, financially, in that secret compartment, as if to tell you that the gold locket's worth 25 gold and the pouch contains 5 gemstones each worth 50 gold. Wow.
Amazing.
Let me paste the description for you all right here.
Does the piece of paper
yep.
attribute a monetary value to the painting?
I think it would have been funny if there were a monetary value to the painting, but it doesn't give me one. I'll say priceless because the painting itself, I think it makes sense.
I see it. Just part of the locket, which is worth 25. I got you.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you could totally separate it, and sell them individually. All right.
Do I recognize the woman at all?
It's your mother.
Can you give me a history check?
If I can remember the English alphabet. No, I can't.
No. It kind of looks like that lady that you met outside of Kresk. They both have black hair.
You know, there's an extra level of unhelpfulness to this because I don't remember where Kresk is, so I don't even know who you're talking about.
Oh, it's the city you just left. When you first showed up, you saw a lady, not donating, sacrificing flowers to the mist wall, and then after that, you went into Kresk, and through it to get to the Abbey of Saint Markovia.
Oh, gotcha. Your character from one of my Halloween games.
Yes, right. Hey, that looks like my character. That locket. Wow, I just put my
OC, do not steal. It says that in the locket.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay, so this locket doesn't double as a clue or anything. It's just money.
It is at least money.
Go do some Dracula with Dracula.
That's for the game, right? That looks real to me.
The iconic line.
There was a different edit of that I sent to Brad a long time ago. Can just continue. I'll find it.
Okay.
Do we want to just split the gold, or
How much gold was it again?
50 gold, so 25 each.
Yeah, okay. Sure, we can we'll split the gold and then split the gems, I guess, too.
Mm-hmm. It's 135 electrum pieces, which
There is I'm not making any specific promises, but there is a theoretical chance that if you visit the Vishtani, they're willing to convert the Electrum.
Mhm.
No promises, of course. But like if I, when I think to myself, oh man, is there something in the real world that the players need? I always defer to the Vishtani. I'm like, oh, they would probably have like knives from the real world or something, right? If you need it.
Mhm.
Knives from the real world. The Vishtani are willing to convert your electrum pieces into usable currency because they're trying to remove it from the economy because no one likes it. So they take your electrum pieces off of you and then just melt them down.
Wait, you're cooking. Yeah, and then okay. Nice. I'm getting ideas for other campaign things. Wait, that reminds me of, I think one of the one-shots that I may or may not have run for you all where it was the one with the were-rats because people were getting robbed, but they were only taking the silver. So like whether it was like cutlery or like silver pieces, but the gold pieces of all things were also like left intact. And it turns out that the were-rat guy was, I think, trying to just take all the silver so that people couldn't challenge him because his weakness was silver or whatever it was. But yeah, Electrum. Now you're cooking. Okay.
And what'd you say about the gemstones? Do you just want to hold on to them for now?
We can split those.
Cut one of them in half.
Yes, of course.
Solomon style.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, you're just adding extra facets.
I'll pick two. You take three, I guess.
Sure.
What if
Then I'll take the locket.
you could
I
keep
want the locket.
Okay, well then give me a gemstone.
Fine. Bitch.
Wait, so who's getting the locket?
I'm getting locket.
Okay, are you wearing it on your person or are you going to pocket it? Throw it into that bag? That sounds like a pointed question coming
Are
from
you
your
gonna
DM now that
pocket
I
the
think about
locket or are you gonna rock it?
it. Stop. That's so good.
That one was fun.
I'm a poet and I wasn't even aware of that fact.
Stop.
Well, I've peaked. We can stop anytime.
All right, folks. Well, tune in next time. Catch us next time. Thanks for tuning. Anyway.
Well, it's time to go kill Bralef.
But yes, honest
Yeah,
question. What are you gonna do?
I'll wear the locket.
All right, you're gonna rock it. Nice. All right. Keith, anything else you'd like to do in that room? You've I mean, I say anything else you want to do in the room as if Julian hadn't done all the work in there, but
Let's see. Handsomely carved rocking cradle to the playing desk. Is there anything in the desk, or does it not have, or is it just a table?
what an excellent question. Can I ask you to give me an investigation check?
Sure. 7.
Whoa. Okay. Wowee, there sure are a lot of words on these papers in these books. Now I am sorry. That was what's the word I'm looking for? Where like I talk down to someone. Sorry, they look like important business papers. Like if there's bookkeeping involved here, the Wizard of Wines. This is those are the books being kept. So there's all sorts of like numbers and names in there. A lot of acronyms too. Well, that's as far as I'll give you for that 7.
I'll check under the black carpet and the bed to see if there's any trapdoors.
I'll ask you to make me another investigation check since your previous one wasn't very good. Okay. So you're able to find a few things. So first of all, there's a knob on one of the bedposts that is loose, and if you end up removing it, revealing the compartment inside, you'll see that there's a key, and it kind of looks like the key to the chest that you don't need the key for anymore. In addition to finding this secret unneeded key, you'll see that there is a secret door in the north corner of the east wall that can be pushed open to gain access to the next area over. Let me reveal that for you here on the map.
The key for the chest was just in the desk.
It was in one of the bedposts, in a knob.
Oh, okay. Yeah, amazing.
Keith was able to find on the desk a bunch of bookkeeping, like records for the winery.
Dweeb shit, got it.
Yes, exactly. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, that is technically everything in the room that you can interact with, whether or not the interaction was successful. Right. Next door, perhaps, for you all.
Yes.
All right.
Onward and leftward.
All right. You reveal a hallway, stairs that I think lead down. Yes, that lead down into that barrel-y area. A few doors. The door at the end is actually open.
So it is. I found more fucking doors.
Right?
I shall open this door in front of me.
All right. Excellent choice. Let's see what it is.
And damn the consequences.
2 pairs of bunk beds occupy this room. Against the wall rest 4 identical footlockers.
Presumably this is where the walkers stay.
Let's open up these lockers and see if there's any feet in them.
That's a moment.
Keith, I think you look at the wall a little too literally.
How I was raised.
I attempt to open the footlockers.
All right, the footlockers contain clothing and personal belongings, but unfortunately for the both of us, nothing of value. You do see a few toys are scattered about. One of the toys looks like it's a child's wooden rocking horse, but the horse is black with wild eyes and has painted orange flames where its mane, tail, and hooves should be. And of course, what's this right up here? You'll see that there's a name carved into this toy, and in smaller lettering below the name, you'll see a perhaps familiar slogan: "Is no fun, is no Blinsky." And of course, the name that you see is as follows. I will not be attempting to pronounce that, but I'll turn the floor over to either of you, should you so desire.
Bucephalus.
Yes, thank you. Bucephalus.
It's another Blinsky toy.
Yeah, we've seen that before, right?
This fucker's everywhere. I'm pretty sure that doll that I stole from the death house from the death house says Blinsky on it.
Most likely.
Did any of the Keef plushies?
Each and every Keef plushie said it.
Who is this Blinsky?
Oh, wait. You never did meet Blinsky, did you? Before. Oh, okay.
When were we supposed to meet him?
Blinsky's toy shop Blinsky's toy shop is commonly known to be located within the city of Vallaki.
Damn it. Well, it was anyway.
I forget. Did Vallaki actually burn to the ground, or was there just a fire?
I cannot answer the question. I like to joke
sure
about it.
Sure you can. You're the DM. You can say whatever you want.
That is true. I'm not allowed to tell you until you either go back or you hear from a reliable source, because, the recap for the class, every time you talk to someone, they do mention Vallaki with perhaps some glowing praise, along the lines of, man, I sure do wish I lived in the great city of Vallaki, which is definitely fine and okay and has not been burned down.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a 60% chance you're going to show up, everything will be fine. There's like a 35% chance you're going to show up and it's been burned to the ground. I'm sure if you talk to someone wise, like perhaps the fabled Wizard of Wines Winery wizard, they'll lead you in the right direction. Be like, oh, I foresee in my crystal ball that Vallaki is A-okay. In fact, they even have public transport now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it for you in this room. And I will show a little bit of my hand and say that the next room is exactly the same. Footlookers in there will have clothing and personal belongings. But in this western room, it doesn't have the toys that are in the eastern room.
Bizarre.
Blinsky didn't like these children as much.
Blinsky is just the name for Santa in this world. It sounds so similar.
Yeah, Blinsky is actually an anagram of Santa Claus.
The way that I immediately took Blinsky into my mind and was like, okay, wait a minute. I believed you for a brief second.
You're being ridiculous again, aren't you?
By the way, Lightning, why haven't you cleaned off the word gullible from your ceiling?
Because I'll get someone to do that. It's because I'm lazy. I've got the executive dysfunction. Both. All right, so Julian, the room I've not revealed yet. So you'll see that the door to this room hangs open. In this chamber are a desk, a chair, a tall wooden cabinet, and a strange contraption that takes up most of the northern end of the room. Now, the reason why I haven't revealed the room yet is because you'll see that there are 3 creatures here. One appears human, but is so caked with dirt and mud that it's hard to know for sure. Her hair is full of twigs, and her face is hidden behind a veil of moss. She is rooting through the contents of the cabinet and haphazardly tossing them onto the floor. Behind her stand two creatures made entirely of dead vines. Let me paste a description for you. All right. This person looks more like the one that you had seen previously above the fermentation vats. I'm gonna say
Vine blights or whatever they're called.
yeah.
I think that's right.
Correct. And if the I shouldn't show my hand with the other fight. Anyway, well, I feel like you could extrapolate that. Like you saw a needle blight, you saw a twig blight emerge from the staff. It's probably safe to assume that vine blights were on the table somehow. But yeah, she's just looking through. Oh, the cabinet. I have to move her down. Hold on. All right. Like she does notice you peeking through, looks at you, and she'll say, "Yes."
Oh, hey, this one speaks common.
She squints at you a little.
Well, Keith, you wanted to talk to the last one. Julian steps back with a very elaborate and somewhat sarcastic bow.
What you looking for?
Can I ask you to make me a persuasion check? Oh, that's really good. And here I thought perhaps there might have been some sort of conflict between the two of you. Man, I can't find the song I wanted to switch to. Let me try this one. All right, so you asked what are you looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you rolled a 24 for persuasion. She'll say, this room is the strangest room in the building. I am enjoying it in here.
Okay.
You're not here to take me away, are you? She squints at you, and at the same time, her Vine Blight pals also squint at you.
No. Your friend over there, and his blights left.
What? They again? Tourists.
Hey, I hold that.
So what have you guys been doing here? We met up with people who claim to be the actual owners of the establishment.
That's us. We're the owners.
Do I believe her?
No.
Thank you.
Damn, not even an option.
I appreciate that. My insight is 1. I don't think that's true.
All right. You got me. Well, it wasn't our home. I kind of want to make it our home now. It's so cozy.
Why did you take it from them?
Think of it like spoils of war. A little consolation prize. A little... a gift.
That you stole from them. By force.
They weren't using it for anything good anyway.
Using it to make a living.
By spreading that strange juice.
Look. Barovia is a pretty depressing place. People need something to take the edge off.
It's because they have turned away from the ways of nature. If those weird Barovian people would just touch grass, then they wouldn't have all these problems.
I don't do that.
Oh. Oh my.
No, no, it's in it. No. Um, I think you should let them have their place back.
Normally, I would not like those words, but you said my friend left? Did he leave of his own volition or did you scare him away?
He made the first move. We defended ourselves, and then he got scared and ran away.
Scared him away. I have a question for you. Do you think I could take you in a fight?
Do I think she could take me in a fight?
Not really. I'm honestly surprised the other guy survived, but hey, she might have some.
Julian pipes in from the back and says, if you have to ask if we think you could take us in a fight, you probably can't take us in a fight.
Wise word.
So I guess it's what, leave or you'll execute me.
I mean, I don't want to hurt you.
Okay.
Doesn't have to come to that.
Well, in that case, why don't you sweeten the deal a little? Is there something you can give me? And I'll be on my merry way.
Can I draw my sword a little bit and say, I can give you your life?
You can. Would you like to?
Yes.
All right. Can I ask you to roll me intimidation? Okay. That's solid. Just say, fine. Fine. She like claps her hands, and the two vine blights like go to either side of her and hoist her onto their shoulders. And now that she's actually taller than you at this point, say, all right, move out of the way. I'll leave. All right, and off they march down the hall.
Such an unnecessary way to go.
I'm sure she thinks it's absolutely necessary. As she is about to go off screen, do either of you have any further questions for this individual?
Oh, sorry, my mic was up. He would call out and say, don't get any funny ideas about coming back.
That's a good retort. I have a response for that. I just have to think how she would respond. She'll say, believe me, I think I'm finished here.
Ominous.
And off she goes. Man. Okay. Let me swap the music back to something different, actually. Now that well, I'm going to swap to something different. And I will say no more. All right. You are free to check out that room that she was just in.
Yeah, might as well do that.
All right.
It's either a torture chamber or it's used to press grapes. I'm not sure. Could go either way.
Keen eyes will notice that it is used for pressing, specifically pressing the labels for the wine bottles. You'll see that there, in the cabinet, there are bottles of ink, along with pieces of parchment and jars of glue. And there's also a key hanging on a loop of twine. I'm just going to skip over some things real quick. This key is for the padlock on the sliding doors from that first floor. Those double doors next to the fermentation vats. That's all that key is for. and nothing else. So yeah, welcome to the printing press room.
Printing press.
Mhm.
Torture chamber. Got it.
Same thing. Could I ask you to make me your choice of perception or investigation since you're checking this room out?
7.
A7. Torture chamber.
Torture chamber. Knew it.
And then Keith, anything you wanted to do perhaps in the printing press room or in this hallway now that you're here?
I mean, I guess I could give the printing press, I could give the room a once over.
All right, go ahead. Want to give me your choice of investigation or perception? You know that technically, because you're not the baddies, you wouldn't want to resort to torture, but in case you do choose to, or when you choose to, this is the perfect room for such things. Oh, gosh, I wish Carrion were here. I'd ask Carrion to make a perception check.
On that note, has anything else happened with the druid?
Nope, he's still making his way south towards he's probably at the base of the hill now, and at this point you'll see that it kind of like spirals. Well, not really spirals up. It's got like sections for horizontal movement on the hill, so it's not like it doesn't slope all the way up. It like slopes up and then it flattens out for a bit, slopes up, flattens out a bit, and there are a bunch of stones piled on top of each other to serve as some sort of markers at what appears to be, I don't want to say like equidistant spots around the circle of the hill, but there's a lot of little like piles of stones, and he's just making his way up the hill, like making his way up a little bit, maybe catching his breath, more expletives and druidic. Yeah, that's what's going on with that guy.
Oh.
Okay. I think. Sorry, I'm gonna look through. I think that might be it. If you think it is safe for the people you met in the forest to return, I can, like, if I get the go ahead from you both to somehow give the all clear to them, kind of like hand wave you trekking back to the forest, unless you want to do anything specific when it comes to role playing. But there aren't any more blights outside, except for the two that you can kind of perhaps, if you were to peek out the window, you'll see that they are. Actually, would you? So while I can't say for sure about the vine blights, you'll know that the rest of the blights are no longer visible here.
Yeah, I guess we'll give the place a once over to see if is the druid we saw in this room the one we saw originally downstairs, or a different one?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Or like from the downstairs. Yeah, on the second floor.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll give the place a once over to make sure there aren't any blights left. But
if you're giving the place a once over, can you give me an investigation check?
No. 5.
You know what? You feel like it's so safe that you just want to
I
open
like
the
that.
door and yell out, "Come in, Strahd." But but you won't. 'Cause that would be crazy. Julian, do you want to give the place a once over? Make sure it's
Does
suitable
that
for
be
habitation.
investigation or does perception walk too?
While I would prefer investigation, I'm more than happy to allow you to use perception. I'll just give you slightly different. Okay. You're like looking around, just making sure there isn't anything that has missed your eye. And with the 13, you're able to discover a few things. Specifically, at least in here, the printing press room, you don't know how you missed it the first few times. Maybe it's because the vial is clear, but you do see another empty vial, very similar to the one that was on the forest folk that you fought in the basement. If you remember when you looted that forest folk's body, there was like an empty vial. There's another empty vial here. But it doesn't match any of the, like, the ink bottles that are here. And it's much too small to hold, well, a lot of things. It just feels out of place.
So they probably poisoned some of the wine. And by some of the wine, I mean probably all of the wine.
Ah. That's going to be a setback.
Well, if we hand the winery back over to the original owners and at least tell them that their current batch is probably no good, then at least they'll just dump it and replace it.
Yeah.
Or we could remove even that, or you could remove even the possibility of them not doing that and just completely destroy the current batch of wine so that they have to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. I don't know how we do that without making a mess of the place, but...
If you burn the whole winery to the ground, I'm sure that would destroy the wine.
She's right. Let's do it. How does my character know how to start a fire?
Maybe we just tell them.
You have a bit too much faith in capitalists.
Yeah, that's fair. We could tell them and look them real deep in the eyes to see if they're actually going to get rid of it.
Previous comment stands.
And then come back and kill them if we find out they're selling poison wine.
Well, the damage will already be done at that point.
Yeah. Alright, well, how do we do this?
I'm more of an ideas guy. I'm not like the... I'm about the big picture, not the details,
Okay, if we go downstairs, is there like a drain somewhere that we can conveniently dump it all in?
That is a good question. I'm trying to think. I'm like looking through.
Like, it's not just the vats, it's like the barrels and shit too, right?
Did seem to be the implication.
Oh yeah, let me detail. The barrels that are on this first floor are technically empty. There is enough barrel to fill with the wine from the fermentation vats, and similarly, if you look at the basement, well, I think those barrels are filled in the basement, but the barrels in the basement that are near the forest folk that you all did defeat are filled with wine. The barrels on this first floor are not filled with wine yet, in case that helps cut down on the potentially overwhelming amount of wine that needs to be destroyed. It's basically just, I think it's the vats on this floor, the barrels on the first one. It might be like a stray bottle or two, but that's all you pretty much have to work with. The remaining barrels on the first floor are all empty.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether it's in the fermentation vat area or like the ones in the barrel workshop, like next to it, those are all definitely empty.
Gotcha.
So deal with 3 barrels of poisoned wine, potentially poisoned wine, and 4 vats of potentially poisoned wine. The individual bottles downstairs are probably fine, just because it would be a massive pain in the ass to like open a bottle, drop a single like drop of poison into it, reseal the bottle.
Yes, that's true.
So on and so forth.
Yeah, I can corroborate that theory. You can probably tell that the wine bottles were difficult, if not impossible, to tamper with.
Aha. So you confirm there was tampering.
I mean, what was wasn't there something tampered perhaps with that first bottle of wine that you all ever interacted with?
Like what, here?
Oh,
Or
in Barovia,
like just in the campaign?
in the campaign.
Yeah, Strahd gave me 2 bottles of Die Vampire wine as a welcome to Barovia gift. As I only discovered when I gave it to a vampire spawn to try to like help him take the edge off, and then I accidentally exploded the edge, killing him instantly.
Very memorable.
Now we could just go like max efficiency and then just dump the wine barrels directly onto the floor and then just just like open up the wine vats here and just let it dump it all over the floor. It'd be a massive pain for them to clean, but like it would do the job for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do wish that the outhouse would be able to, because I just realized there is an outhouse on the left, but I don't think it would be able to fit all the wine.
Mm-hmm. Clearly, what we have to do is dump a barrel into the well, come back, fill it up at the vat, dump it into the well again.
Oh,
And
Alternatively, an
we dump it
idea.
all outside and then salt the earth to neutralize the poison.
Yeah, exactly. Keith, you're a scarecrow. You're immune to poison, right? We just have you drink all of the wine. Problem solved.
I'll get soggy pretty quick. Oh, you're immune to poison too.
No, I'm not.
Oh, weird.
The developers thought that would be too powerful. So
I
then-
prestidigitation, so I can clean like 1 square foot of floor every 6 seconds.
that would be a slow going pain in the ass, but like genuinely we could theoretically do it like that.
Okay, here's what we do. We dump out all the poisoned wine. We tell them that the druids poisoned the wine, but then but then it all got dumped out. And then we offer my services if they want to pay me to clean it up.
I feel like the easier story there would just be the druids didn't like the wine and dumped it out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like they're not gonna they're not gonna try to salvage floor wine.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. But capitalism, though.
I mean, we could still offer your services cleaning it up.
Yeah, all right. I don't remember if you answered my question. Is there like a drain or something anywhere here?
I honestly, other than like the well, as you pointed out, the outhouse as I'm looking, I don't see, or you know, obviously the grass or the ground. I don't see a specific like drain. Oh, I see there are some horses on the right. You could totally make the horses drink the poisoned wine and be like, "Oh no." But yeah, I'm sorry. There's not a lot in the way of drains that I see on this map. Yeah, what's up?
Do I have a... Hold on. Let's see. Check my inventory. No, I don't want to help. Well, I have a lot of really cool spell scrolls that I should probably remember to use at some point.
Oh, like what?
I wondered if protection from poison could be used to neutralize the wine, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Oh yeah, and then also my robe of useful items.
Yeah.
Anyhow, now let's just go with our plan of dumping out all the wine.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so you're just gonna dump the wine, correct? That is not like a what's the word I'm looking for. That's a genuine question on my part. Okay. So, fearing the worst, given the evidence that you have acquired upon your perusal of the winery, you decide to play it safe and dump potentially poisoned wine. And so the wine is no more. But now that the winery is safe from both invaders and poison, I will go ahead and begin bringing the forest, not the forest folk, but the people you met in the forest back. Let me just select. I'm probably going to put them on the first floor. I see you are both there already, so they are going to make their way through, and with Irina in tow. Wait, not Irina. Sorry, the fake. Not Tatiana. Vasilka, with your third party member who is patiently awaiting the bequeathing of that fifth gem to her specifically. She's definitely a real person. Let me put the kids back here. All right. They will come through, I guess. I'm trying to think what's the best place for them to move in through because you like boarded up. Well, you didn't board up. You kind of closed over this door. But I'll have Stefania step through first. And she'll like step in here. And well, the question that we've all been waiting for, given our recent talks, it's just like, oh no. Well, thank you for clearing the winery of those invaders. They must have. She like looks over at the wine that has been dumped, like, because obviously it's been some time. Yeah. They had to come up, so it's dried and like seeped in and stuff. And she'll say, a shame about the wine, but again, it's nice to have our home back, our livelihood. Thank you so much for what you did. Oh, I know the perfect way to reward you. Elvira, can you go fetch the chest from upstairs? She turns to the man behind her, and he'll go ahead and.
That won't be necessary.
We don't do this for payment. We do this purely for the love of the game.
Yes. Anyway,
Keith, let's be going.
just straight up.
Wait, before you go. Oh, I just wanted to say, because you helped us. What's the word for like bring back, get back, retrieve, obtain,
restore?
Yeah, it's that energy. Restored. Now that you've restored our home to us, just know that you are forever welcome in our home. You will have room and board available no matter the hour.
That's really nice of you. Thank you.
Oh, you
should leave the locket.
What was that?
You leave the locket. Like, just drop it somewhere as we're leaving.
Wait, aren't you gonna take your friends with you?
Come along now, Irina.
But I like the locket, Keith.
Okay, leave the picture or something.
Ah,
It's an heirloom or something.
Is it?
I think it was in the secret compartment.
Oh god, fine. I'll just somewhat discreetly dispose of the locket on this carriage. Just kind of like drop it between the barrels.
Okay. Can I ask you
We'll find it eventually.
Can I ask you a cursory stealth check? Just don't roll below a 5. Oh my god.
Good news. I mechanically can't.
I don't think they're gonna find the locket actually at all. You hide it in. Surprisingly, there's another hidden compartment that I'm pretty sure they didn't know about in that wagon, and drop the locket in, and it like bounces off Rube Goldberg style, and eventually just slides into that secret compartment.
Well, that's on them at this point. Now no one wins. I hope you're happy, Keith.
I take it. I drop it in front of the door.
But can you find it? I need you to roll me an act to present. No, I don't. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I burn the place to the ground. Fuck this.
Roll investigation at disadvantage.
All right. You are so interested in heading out. Is there a particular place you're headed to?
Is there a place we're headed to? Do we have any?
I don't even know why we came here anymore, man. We came to the stupid winery in hopes that these guys could help Kresk with their like winter food shortage.
Oh yeah. We should probably talk to them about that, huh?
I know, man. We're still like holding on all of their money.
Yeah. Well, let's ask anyway.
Oh, you're back. Hello.
I just remember the reason we came here. It was I think we mentioned something about helping out the people with the trade and food and whatnot.
Oh, you're helping people out. Okay. We can talk about this. Do you mind if we go somewhere more comfortable for this discussion? Your humble DM is considering maybe there's a room upstairs with lots of chairs. We could move there. That's okay with you? Well, we can totally talk here.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So you all will make your way upstairs for at least a little bit of a talk with the people. Let me just go ahead and it's a little cramped in here, so I am gonna put Vasilka outside. I'm sorry, Busty. I was trying to say Buddy and Bestie at the same time. How unfortunate. The kids are gonna go into this room at least. I'll have these two at least out. Can I ask you all to help me out here real quick? Can you pick one NPC to join you in the room, and then the other one to stay with Vasilka and make sure the kids don't like kill her? Out of the two men that are beside her.
Blonde guy.
You want blonde guy to go in the room with you? Okay. All right. I just got. Yeah, thank you. I was just about to ask. Let me check one more thing. I gotta pull up which one. Oh, okay. That was a good choice on your end. All right.
Should I be in the room with, like, what are we discussing here? Why does she gotta have muscle?
Oh, those are they're not really muscles. They're more her family members. It's just because it felt weird discussing in the room with the vats that were emptied. You know, it's just comfy up here. Whatever questions Keith has for her.
I just heard the comment about like who should be in the room with her so that the kids don't kill her or something.
Oh, so the kids don't kill your not Irina, because like that's what this guy is here for. He's there because, you know, when people say kids will be kids, that's usually them just letting their no consequences for the ramifications of their actions. This family is better than the average family, I would say, and they don't let their kids go and kill a creature that has been born from the amalgamation of body parts that have been taken from multiple people and attempted to be infused with the soul of the person that's the vampire overlord of the valley is hopelessly in love with. So kids will be kids, and so that's why they have this person here to serve as barrier between the two of them.
I see. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're more than welcome to also keep an eye on your not Irina friend, but you can also join Keith for the talk in there.
I'll join Keith.
All right, you're joining Keith.
Remind me exactly what our plan was here. What?
Our
What
plan
we're
was to like come here and see if these guys had some way that they could potentially like help with the like nearby town's food shortage.
Mhm.
Because they're a winery, they're well established. They can either grow food or buy food. But like then we showed up here and like they'd been ousted from their jobs and have not been able to produce anything for a while. And we just destroyed their entire current product. So
You
I don't know.
what? No, no, I'm just kidding.
So I don't know. We might be the baddies here.
All right. Now that you're all seated up here, I know that Keith has your existing outstanding question. Before you get down to brass tacks, if brass has been invented in this valley, Stephanie is going to ask you or Keith, I mean, you or Julian, if either of you want refreshments, you know, perhaps some food.
Nope.
We're
Oh.
good.
Okay, that's fine then. That's fine then. So, what was it you were saying about people in need?
nearby towns are suffering from a food shortage, and we figured, being a successful and wealthy winery, you might have the resources to establish some sort of assistance.
Successful and wealthy. Ooh. Such kind words you bear. Yes, actually, as a matter of fact, the secret to our success is the fact that despite the not optimal climate, we are able to grow pretty much anything in our fields. Actually, Elvir, can you come in here real quick? She'll call for Elvir, who is going to sneak in over here, and she'll ask him, "Can you check on the fields?" She'll say it to him, and he will like nod solemnly. And let me double check personality stuff for him. Oh, okay. Yes, I see. He'll say, "Yes, finally. I've been so worried about the condition of the fields. Here you all are yapping away. Time for some real business. I'll be right back. I'm going to check on things." Arena's immediately beaten to a bloody pulp by the kids. Yeah, they're looking for blood, that's for sure. So he's going to step away real quick. So I'm going to put him here. And she'll explain. So essentially, what had happened long ago is, see if I can find the specific. Basically, our fields were blessed by the ladies three long ago, when they interacted with our ancestors. When she begins telling this tale, the old guy directly across from Keith is gonna scoff and say, "Ladies three, but legends, myths aren't even real. Powerful ladies three." Oh, he's like grumbling under his breath, also referencing the tourists. Stephanie will chide him and say, "Hey, not in front of the guests. Look, this is how I'm going to tell the story. If you want to tell the story, if you want to talk to the guests, by all means, go ahead." He kind of like looks at you all and he like looks a little grumpy. He'll say, "Well, I don't want to tell no stories. They helped save our winery. You need to," like, she like tells him to kind of like calm down and not be so rude and interrupt you while she's telling the tales. And she'll continue to tell the story about how their ancestors were basically gifted by the ladies three a bountiful harvest always, the ability to grow crops no matter the weather, the climate, even with the lack of sunlight, which is pretty important for the growth of certain crops. And so she'll tell you that with their bountiful fields, they would be able to perhaps they would be willing to dedicate some of their like plot to food growth. You know, maybe because she'll explain, we may be a business focused family, but We are family first and foremost, and we understand it is important for other families to eat as well. So we're more than willing to cut back on some of our growth in hopes of growing for, you said it was Kresk. Yes, Kresk needs food. We're more than happy to provide. And as she finishes the sentence, we are more than happy to provide. Elvir will come back with like a look on his face that is 40% pained and 40% sad, and he'll say, Stephanie, the fields are not in good condition. They took the last gem. And Stephanie will look at him and she'll say, they took the last gem too? And Elvir, the man who just stepped through, will nod solemnly. And Stephanie will kind of like put a head to her forehead, or like a hand to her forehead, and she'll like groan and squeeze her eyes together and say, so about the food growth situation. I know I said we might be able to grow food for Kresk, but we might not be able to grow any food at all now. So when I said the ladies three blessed our ancestors, they blessed them with these 3 gems that are able to provide life and vitality and encourage growth no matter the climate, no matter the circumstance, no matter the environment. So we had 3 of them to start. We had the first one stolen from us many, many years ago, but we were still fine operating with just 2 of these life-giving gems. About 3 to 4 weeks ago, we lost the second gem. It was stolen in the night. There wasn't a fight or anything or a war waged on us like what happened with these forest folk, but we know that this second gem made its way to the swamps of Berez east of us. But of course, the swamps of Berez are no place for a family, and so we weren't able to retrieve that second gem. And of course, we were able to operate, again, surely reduced capacity, but with one of the 3 gems at our disposal, we were still able to, sure, the forest folk were able to drain our wine, really hit us where it hurts, but as long as we had that final gem, we could have bounced back, grown more wine, or grown more grapes for wine, grown more crops for Kresk. But it sounds like we don't have that 3rd gem either. The forest folk must have taken it back to their home at Yesterhill south of us. So I'm sorry, I don't think we'll be able to help you out with this Kresk problem.
Just out of curiosity, Keith will cast Minor Illusion and make the image of the gem that we got out of Baba Lasaga's hut. This wouldn't be one of them, would it?
That's the gem. That's one of our gems gifted to us by the ladies 3. All we need is one of those gems, and we'll be able to grow grapes and crops as needed for ourselves, for Kresk, for the whole of Barovia. Could I implore you, brave adventurers, you helped save our home. Could I ask you to, look, you don't have to say yes. Could I ask you to either venture into the dangerous swamps of Berez, where I hear the strange ladies walk around casting spells, or perhaps south to the forest folk to retrieve what they took from us merely days ago, the final 3rd life-giving gem. And with either one of those at our disposal, we'll be able to provide for the people of Kresk.
All right. Well, I believe, out of character, Carrion is currently holding on to the.
Oh, Carrion has it?
Yeah, but I mean, I can call him back whenever.
That's true. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was on your person. So, okay. Well, up to you. The guy that Carrion has been tailing has finally it's finally made it to the top of the hill. Now I have a question for you. How are you both feeling session-wise? You still feeling good? Just wanted to check in real quick.
Doing all right for now.
Doing all right for now.
All right. Well, in that case, I think Carrion is technically too far. He might be too far to like provide you with a live feed, but I'm more than happy
yeah,
if you
it's within like a mile or something.
if you want to summon him back. I can tell you what he sees above at the top of the hill, unless you think he wouldn't have stayed with the guy all the way to the top of the hill. I don't know what vibes you're thinking of for Carrion tailing this guy.
The top of the hill seems like a good spot for him to like decide to turn back.
All right. Okay. Atop the hill, Carrion, is a wide ring of black boulders and smaller rocks that collectively form a makeshift wall enclosing a field of dead grass. Lightning strikes the edge of the ring from time to time, illuminating a ghastly 50-foot tall statue made of tightly woven twigs and packed with black earth. The statue resembles a towering, cloaked individual with fangs. That is what the last thing Carrion sees as this man ascends the hill.
Good to know. Well, at that point, Carrion will return, and depending on how long it takes him to get back, eventually, assuming he makes it back, Keith will procure the gem that belonged to that we found in the hut.
All right. When you reveal the gem returned to you by Carrion, Stephanie will gasp. The old man will say, "Oh my God." The blonde guy will also gasp, and then the black-haired man will look on in astonishment. They're all looking on as the gem glows and pulses with a powerful green light. And Stephanie will ask, which? She looks a little dumbfounded, a little awestruck, isn't quite sure what to say, but eventually is able to eke out, where did you find this? Is that... Where did you find this?
It was in the possession of some of the spellcasters from the swamps.
Oh, okay. Well, it seems that the ladies are looking down upon us because you procured the gem even before you... Wow. Are we... Is this for us? Are we allowed to...
Assuming you can use this to help support the local food situation, yeah, you can have it.
Oh. Yes, please. Thank you. Yes. We will use this. We will help grow crops for Kresk so that they can... Sounds like... So they can survive the oncoming winter. You've done a lot for us multiple times over. We greatly appreciate it.
It's what we do.
The blonde guy will actually chime in and say, "Yes, it's very nice what you all have done for us. I'm sorry. You came from Kresk. You came here to help them with their situation. May I ask what brought you to Kresk in the first place?"
Kresk in the first place, I don't remember.
So you were there for the Abbey of St. Markovia because I think you were... I'm trying to remember correctly. A combination of, you knew one of the three MacGuffins was at the Abbey, and then also I think one of you was told there was a powerful opponent at the Abbey.
Mm-hmm.
I have some pretty clear notes on this. posted them in Discord.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But
That's pretty much the reason that we went.
how are either of you going to phrase this specifically? The blonde guy who will he will introduce himself as Adrian. Yeah, he's like, "Oh, wait, what brought you to Kresk in the first place?"
We had to seek guidance from the
Oh, from the
we had to seek guidance from the abbot.
guidance from the abbot. I do hear people seek the abbot for guidance in these trying times. I hope you were able to find what you were looking for then. Hope you found the guidance you were seeking.
I would say so.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, now that you provided the gem, they are overjoyed. They are able to provide for the people of Kresk. Do you have any additional questions, any follow-up questions, as they are like, you know, they'll turn a conversation with each other about like, you know, ramping production back up and replacing the wine. You know, you'll hear them make casual comments like, okay, so if we've lost this much wine, that means we'll need to at least this many plots. And there'll be like another conversation about those damned forest folk. They just broke through the chest and took everything that we owned. Their shame knows no bounds.
Fucked up.
You'll hear.
What was in the chest?
So the old man will pipe up, I believe, at this point. Let me just double check. The chest was in the master bedroom, W17. Yeah, the old man will pipe up and he'll say, "In that chest, we collected savings as many do. But it seems, according to my children, that they also found the secret compartment which held my late wife's locket. As well, some
Planted you in.
gemstones.
Oh, gemstones, you say?
Yes.
Well, we did find a few things lying around that the druids dropped when they left. Hold on, I pull out the gemstones that I have.
Son of a bitch.
Oh. You know, thinking back, the gems. I mean, what was I doing with the gemstones? Right, I kept them locked away. Perhaps I would gaze at them from time to time, but ultimately, I think they weren't really doing me any large amount of good. So you can keep the gemstones at least. I'll think of it as payments for, well, saving our home, returning one of the 3 gems. Go on, kid. You've earned it.
Well, if you insist. I think I said I dropped the locket over here. Something like that.
Oh, where'd you ping it again?
Right here, I think.
Mm-hmm. That sounds correct. Did you want, like, it to be the truth, Karen, to grab it or something? Or just...
Yeah, I'm gonna mentally command Carrion.
Why is this guy be
Then-
like, you could keep the picture of my dead wife, too?
yeah, what was I gonna do with that? Look at it from time to time. It's better in your hands.
Wait, to recap, Julian did, like, attempt to... this is not, like, a scathing question. This is an honest question for my benefit. You attempted to, remove the painting? Or was that just, like, a joke? Okay. Okay, so, Keith, what are you doing with Carrion?
Carrion will invisibly retrieve it, and then at some point, Keith will be like, "Oh, it seems my pet raven found this log. Would this happen to belong to you?
I have a question for you. Is that exactly how you worded that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you pull it out, you know, you say, "Oh, look what my pet raven found." And then all four of them like look at you and they say, Stephanie chimes in, "Sorry, what was that you said?" The old man will say, "Say that again."
He said his pet crow.
Yeah. He's he's not one of those ravens. Don't need to worry. He's not even a real raven at all. But
What do you mean by those ravens? Stephanie will say.
Why am I witness? Why is my co-orcal making microaggressions against ravens? What do
he'll
you
have
mean?
Carrion appear.
you
You know, say,
people?
this is my he's my familiar.
Yo, what form is Carrion in right now?
He's a raven right now.
Raven right now.
Is that a problem?
You'll see that all four of them kind of like look at each other and then they look at Carrion and look back at each other and they look at Carrion. I'm sorry, can I ask where you met your familiar?
I mean, I kind of created him myself.
You created this gorgeous creature yourself? Whoa. They look on in awe. They like look at you. They look at each other. They nod amongst themselves in approval. Like, And they look back at you. It's like, oh, wow, you are quite a surprise. More than we expected.
This is taking a turn.
What? Can I get a read on them? What
Sure,
are
yeah,
they?
you can give me an insight. Yeah.
I'm not good at insight, but I'm very Huh.
Okay. You sense that they are, of course, impressed, but perhaps all will be made clear as Stephania slides the window behind her open, and a raven alights on her outstretched hand, and she'll like bring it into the window.
Oh, you have one too.
Yes. We have a great affinity for ravens, and it seems that you do too. So perhaps it is because of fates that our paths have crossed.
That's certainly possible.
The blonde guy will chime in again, Adrian, and he'll say, "I'm sorry again for being so forward, but can I possibly ask what guidance you were looking for when you went to see the abbot?"
Normal spiritual guidance. Same questions anyone has, I'm sure.
And all right, I'll be honest. I've also been looking for some artifacts that I heard were in Barovia
Why are you always so honest?
because it's gotten us answers.
Artifacts. The symbol was there. The sword was, and then the book was. Okay. So let's say the old guy will chime in at this point, which I think his name is Davian. Yeah, Davian will chime in with artifacts. You mean like not the gems?
More of an instrument than a gem.
Okay. Well, what kind of instruments? I think I've heard of some bard in Valaki. The Vishtani really like their music.
Okay, to clarify out of character, are we aware? Is there still one instrument of order that we have yet to find that we're aware of?
Yes, because when you were at Argenvost Holtz, It was insinuated that the Sun Sword, while powerful, was not the one that was it Hornguard?
Hmm.
If it was Hornguard, it's not the one that he was thinking of when you had mentioned Instruments of Order to him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I believe it's referred to as an instrument of order.
Instruments of Order. Well, I mean, I don't really know much about these doodads, these thingamabobs, but I think my family would agree with me. David will continue when we say that we have quite a network of contacts and we can definitely reach out to them. And is there like a physical description you can give us, or just like what is it? My grandson says vibes.
Did we get one?
You did not get a physical description, no.
Like, that's part of the problem. No one knows anything about this thing.
Unfortunately, not. They're so elusive that no one really knows. And to clarify, we didn't get any. We didn't get any other hints, did we? Anything that might help feed these guys information to get started?
I'm sorry. I don't think, at least for me on my end, I can't think of anything that immediately comes to mind.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we don't have much to go on, but besides that name, but
all right. Well, we'll see what we can do. I think it's still a good start, Davian will say. Out of curiosity, what are these things for? You're not planning to like rule over this valley or something, are you? I feel like the position's technically already taken.
I don't want to rule, but not a huge fan of the rule that's currently in place.
It's at this point that Adrian will speak up and he'll say, "Oh, well, I guess that's probably a common sentiment. I mean, this is a safe space, but I am a little surprised that you said it so loudly. Not like loudly.
He already knows how we feel about him."
It's at this point that David will say, "Well, it sounds like if you're not a fan of higher up and you're on a search for these artifacts and you have an affinity to ravens, then I think it's probably a good idea for me to tell you a little secret. Now, don't get your hopes up. It's not a really big secret. I mean, it's a big secret, but we have been interested in more than just making wine over here. We have been gathering information to use against our benevolent landlord for some time. So when we say we have a network of contacts, you can imagine what that network of contacts is primarily used for. So if there's anything in particular you think that could help, for example, I'm not saying you have to do this, Davian says, but imagine that you find yourself in the great city of Vallaki. I don't know if you've been there yet, but a lot of streets, a lot of roads, a lot of people who support the undead over there. So, if you find yourself in a particular situation, perhaps there are contacts that you can find safety in. Say you need a place to lay your head. Maybe you need a place, maybe an assistance out of bind. like secret handshakes, secret knocks, stuff like that. So
Sure.
normally, I want to reveal this kind of information lightly, but everything seems to line up nicely for you all. Most notably, your affinity for the creation of your raven familiar. So yeah, we are. We would like to be of assistance as best as we can.
Yeah, I think we can all help each other.
Right, good to hear.
I was always under the impression that all the ravens hovering around belonged to your benevolent landlord.
Oh, no. They are, they're a symbol of our family. We are the Mardikovs. My name is, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on Davian Mardikov. These are my children, Adrian, Stephania, Elvir. My other son is in Valaki with his family. And of course, they say here in Barovia that ravens are symbols of good luck. Of course, not to attack them. So go the tales.
What was that name?
Mardikovs?
Oh, okay.
Yes. Let me see if he's actually, I think he's in here, yes. But yes, thank you for this gift. That is the second gem that was taken from us about a week or so ago. But yeah, we'll get that going. We'll be out in the fields. We'll get food over to Kresk in no time.
Sounds good.
But as for you all, I wish you the best of luck searching for those artifacts. Is there anything else you all are interested in asking? And where are you all headed from here? If you, depending on how long it's been since the last time you laid your head down, you're more than welcome to rest here if you would.
Do we need a rest? I think I'm pretty good actually.
I'm also pretty good.
All right. Well, safe travels wherever you head from next. Where do you think you're headed next? You have an idea?
If I can find a good enough excuse for it, Yestor Hill.
Wait, do you say that? You don't say that in person, right? That was like
No.
above the table. Okay.
Yeah, that was out of character.
Okay.
Though I'm sure that these guys would be more than happy to provide us with with at least some amount of excuse.
I mean, they technically did already. Bralef, did you happen to catch it?
I don't think so.
Yestor
Was that where
Hill-
one of the other gems went?
Yeah, Yestor Hill is the home of the forest folk who presumably just stole one of the gems. But the first time that we had heard of it was when I was made aware of locations with particularly powerful individuals, such as the home of the forest folk at Yestor Hill and the Abbey of St. Malkovia in Kresk.
All right. And as you've noted here, one of those is down and out for the count.
Yep.
I guess Keith will ask, if we did happen to stumble across another one of the gems that was stolen from you, would that benefit your fields even more?
Absolutely, Stephanie, I will say. When I was telling my tale, of course, the highest point of output, the strongest our fields have ever been, was basically up until 10 years ago when the first gem was stolen. When we have all three, the output is phenomenal, plenty of grapes, plenty of crops and wheat and whatever else the Kresk would need. With all three, we would have the full blessing of the ladies three. all the blessing of the Fanes. It would be wonderful. Obviously 2 is better than 1. We can operate with 1, but at least 2 would be nice. I might be biased because we've been operating off of 2 for basically the past decade. I have no idea where that 3rd gem is.
And Yester Hill, would that be the or did he run the south?
Yes, Yester Hill, home of the Forest Folk, would be to the south. Not a lot of Barovians tend to go that way, not only because the Forest Folk tend to be hostile. They, in case, since you all seem like you're new to the area, the Forest Folk were part of the original inhabitants of the valley. People, traditional Barovians come from a long line, are descended from primarily people who settled in the valley, such as King Bralef and Queen Ravenovia. So they're not like, their ties to the land aren't as strong as the Forest Folk are, and of course they weren't the original inhabitants. So there's a lot of bad blood between both groups. And also graves of some sort. Think of Yester Hill like a big cemetery on a hill. Very difficult to attack too. Think about the strategic ramifications of attacking uphill. So yeah, that's what's going on over at Yester Hill. That's why it isn't super viable for us to attempt to, we held our own against them on our home turf for a while, but we were eventually ousted. Imagine us trying to take the fight to them. That probably wouldn't go well for us, even if my brother thinks he's highly capable on the battlefield. Kind of elbows her elder brother, the blonde guy. But yeah, to summarize, she's more than happy and grateful that you all were able to procure the 2nd gem for her. It is a shame they recently lost the 3rd gem. Yeah. Anything you'd like to add there? Any other questions you'd like to ask?
I can't think of anything else.
All right. And then Bralef, what about from you?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. All right. Since you are all not in need of a rest, I'm just curious, are you headed to Yester Hill, or is there some other place you would like to go that you've been eyeing? I can pull you back to the map if you need to. Actually, I kind of will do that just in general. Get a lay of the land. So of course you are, where Carrion's token is. Let me go ahead and reveal the map a little bit more. Those blights that are formerly here will now be moved south, as you have basically ousted them. Let me go ahead and place you right here. The dog is there because this is the current location of the other party, specifically in the printing press room is where their session last ended. All right. But yes, south is Yester Hill. You can imagine you will encounter resistance at Yester Hill. As a brief reminder of what else is available, there is a tower at the lake over there to your northeast. There is this other mysterious path that doesn't lead anywhere in particular, that you know of yet. Of course, you could always check on Valanki. You could also, pull a Breath of the Wild and go straight for Castle Ravenloft now that you have all 3 of the main story MacGuffins.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, how are y'all feeling? And as always, if you need guidance of some sort, if you remember the role that, like, say, Merlon would play in the Paper Mario series, you could always go back to Madame Eva at that Vishtani camp. Hey, who knows? She might have made an appearance at a different Vishtani camp. Since there is more than just the one. There is a Vishtani camp right outside Vallaki.
Well, out of character, how prepared do you think we are to fight Strahd at this point?
I think you should not fight Strahd at this point.
I figured as well.
Fair enough.
I mean, I could be wrong, honestly. There might be something that I'm like, oh my god. Because the thing is, I think now that I think back, you all, how do I phrase it? You've been doing very well despite, I don't want to say safeguards, despite the factors that are against you in a Strahd fight.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I might be underestimating you all. Okay, so you technically shouldn't, but you might surprise me.
Gotcha.
Also, for my own benefit, when was the last time I gave you all a level up?
Been a minute.
I don't know, actually.
Did we level up after we fought the abbot?
I don't think so. What level are we? We're level 8.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we hit 8 at the abbot, but we might have.
Let me check something. But yeah, I'll check. I'll probably, just in case. I know that the fights in the winery weren't particularly impactful, but in addition to, free room and board at the winery whenever you would like, and of course learning about the Mardikovs and their network of contacts and everything, I will grant you all a level up for freeing the winery from the clutches of the forest folk, and perhaps it will come in handy for your trials ahead in the near future.
Hell yeah.
All right. But of course, as far as level up stuff is concerned, that can be, you're theoretically not going to get into combat with the remaining time we have left. So before I wrap things up, yes, what heading would you like to put on the charts next that is not Castle Ravenloft? Because I do think, if I'm being honest, I think you're not ready yet, but that doesn't make it impossible at the rate you two are going.
You wanted to head for the hill, right?
Kind of wanted to head for the hill, but there are other places. Is it down this path? Is that tower thing you mentioned?
The tower thing is more north. It's right up here.
Yeah, okay. I am interested in either the tower or Yestro Hill.
Mm-hmm.
The tower is just basic curiosity. Yestro Hill, at the very least, Yestro Hill is motivated by the fact that I was told it would be a good place to fight something powerful. But the tower is just pure curiosity.
Yeah. Let's see. So Yesterhill would be probably dealing with the druids we just let go.
Yeah. A bit morally iffy.
Mm-hmm. Well, we could kindly ask them for the gem back.
I'm sure that'll go really well.
And then I'm also curious about the tower. Let's see. Level 9. Ooh, another invocation. Now it's a proficiency bonus up.
Wait, did Lightning say that we leveled up tonight, or are you just preparing?
Yes, you are leveling up tonight.
That
Partially as reward for clearing the winery, even if the fights weren't as impactful.
fair enough. Missed that part. My bad.
But yeah, before you get too deep into your level up bonuses, unless of course it might help determine which direction you intend on going, Bralef, tower or hill.
We have an actual sort of in-game reason to go to the hill, so why don't we go there? We show up, we ask nicely for the gem, and then get jumped, and then we have some plausible deniability when people ask us if we instigated the fight.
Sounds good to me.
All right. It sounds like you both are interested in visiting Yesterhill. Are you bringing Vasilka with you?
Vasilka being the fake Irina.
Correct. Or the real one, who knows?
I feel like it's funnier to make these guys keep babysitting her.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that is a vote to leave her in the care of the Bartikovs, which I think technically they would be hard pressed to say no.
We're gonna go try to get your second magic gem so you can fix your business. Would you mind babysitting our robotic companion that clearly makes you uncomfortable?
Should you ask them to do so, you can imagine that Stephania actually will say, Adrian, you've got this one. I took care of the last one. All right, let me move these folks over down here. You all are going to basically make your way to Yesterhill, and as we wrap up Sesh, let me go ahead and take you at least to the next map that you'll be on. And I'll put you at the base of this particular map. Let me just hide a few tokens here that have made their way on a layer that I am not ready for them to be on just yet. And let me read off the description for you. So, the trail through the thick woods leads to a hill covered with dead grass and cairns of black rock. Dark, ominous clouds gather high above, and a single bolt of lightning strikes the hilltop. West of the hill, the land, the woods, and the sky vanish behind a towering wall of fog. Go ahead and swap out the music for just as you're traveling, as we're wrapping up. Maybe, perhaps. Usually, it's fine. I'll just take you over to this map now. You'll find yourselves at the top right of this map. It is going to be a big one. And we will have you all scale the hill next time.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Any last words for those at home before we wrap up?
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Yep. Thanks for watching. We'll see what happens here. Maybe they'll just turn around and go for the tower instead. Take one look at this big old hill and be like, hold on, let me show you. It's like, I'm not really feeling these vibes right now. Oh, thanks for bringing Sniffles too.
I'm gonna humiliate the shit out of these forest folk. Just gonna tone into a fucking bat and fly to the top.
Ooh. Nice. Thank you for that heads up, so I can be sure to perhaps mark anything between that as not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, in that case, those of you at home, I hope you all have a good afternoon, good morning, a good evening, wherever you are, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.